talk about the actual wedding day. Like, take us through how the day was. The preparation, the timings, expectations versus reality. How many reality versus expectation versus reality. Just take us through your wedding day, and if everything just went in accordance to the plan.
Timing, 2 out of 10. Timing was crazy. We had it spilled, but we are Africans. If I may put it
that
so.
That was not the plan.
But
someone there's an amount of money you pay as deposit
for fine.
If you come late, you forfeit the money.
Yes.
So you guys lost that money.
As we knew before.
Okay.
I prepared her psychologically, but as I prepared her psychologically, I made sure that it wouldn't have been my intention for the money to go. But just in case, don't budget that money, because you'll be heartbroken. And also, before then, I'd always wanted my wife to enjoy her wedding.
Yeah.
So the amount, or rather the fine, was budgeted for, so that it's a day. Let's not just enjoy the day. Let's budget the amount in the planning process. If it comes back, it's okay. If it doesn't, it's okay. But let it not be an hindrance to our wedding and us having fun, because we are chasing time, which mostly we do not have control over. But the day went so well. The men, we woke up early, prepared early, went to pick the lady. The lady will continue from there. Yes, I went to pick the lady.
Oh wow! No, that usually doesn't happen in our community.
Rarely happens. I wanted to be there, and not even make sure that everything is well. I just wanted to be there in that area. I didn't see her. I didn't get in the house. We left. Me and the person that was the car that I was in. We left just when they were about to get out. When the women started singing, that is when we left. Because for me, it is easier being around that place, because that is where most people are in terms of the wedding, than going to the venue and waiting for 3 hours or 2 hours. That would just frustrate me, because now you are there alone. So I didn't want to do that. That's why I was on this other side. The ladies' side,
I was having a time of my life. We're having photos. Cameras all on me. My aunties are like, how you feeling, my girl? Today's your day. Then the bridesmaids are also there, getting arranged and their makeup. And then you just have to keep on smiling. Me, I'm just... My notion was we have to keep time. So me, I'm in the house. Because we needed to leave the house at 9 or 9:30 latest. So we woke up early, definitely. And then the shooting, we did it early, it was on time. Then we are done. Then I'm supposed to go and now put on the gown. So as I go to put on the gown, I asked my best lady, how comes I can't hear women singing? It's about time. Because of course you can see it's 9 something and we need to leave here at 9:30. They are not singing. So she would just tell me, you don't worry, just prepare, everything's okay. So me, I'm big on time. Like for me, time is time. I don't want to be that late come a bride. Who comes late? That cannot be me. So me, I wanted to keep time. So I'm like, okay, I'm not hearing anything. So my parents pass and I'm like, hey, mom and dad, what's not happening? I think wako nje, because I was like, I don't know if they're outside, what's happening, why are they not entering? Then the house was full. I can see my aunties. I'm wondering, okay, it's about time. So what are we waiting for? But they were not telling me what's happening. So I'm like, okay, it's time, but we are not leaving. I can't hear women singing, because that's how you know time ya kujua imefika, time ya kutoka. So I'm just seated. So I just got anxious and I was like, hey, why can't hear women singing? So they didn't tell me until they just tell, like, you just smile, put on your bride smile. So you just una-interview watu hapo. So kidogo tu inapotea. Until suddenly I just heard women singing, and then it was very short, and then I'm like, it's time to go. They pray for you, then you hand it over to the other family. Hey, that was like, it really synced me. I am leaving this house, my parents' house, and your suitcases not like hey. And then the prize, like, Lord, we bless her. And then my mom would be like, when the video is they're taken up, they're like, I bless you, my daughter. When you go, be a good wife to your husband. I'm like, hey, this day has finally come. I thought it was a joke. I don't know. You always think about your wedding, but now in reality, it's happening, and you're like, there's so much emotions going on.
Yeah.
So I loved everything that went out, the decor. I just loved it. The only thing that happened was that the deco person forgot to put the "Here comes the bride" sticker, because that was agreed. Haikuwa na sikuwa namuona naweza actually sikuwa nimenotice until nishuke gari. I was like, sikuwa na hiyo. And then I'm checking my bridesmaids and I'm like, oh, those flowers are not exactly what I had said. But I'm like, okay, it's fine. Let's just roll. I enter church. Now when I enter church, the first thing I noticed that the area was nice, but now the back side, there was a place I needed to cover it. I just did this and I saw it. I was like, okay, no. But I was like, it's okay. Let's move on. Regardless, we have to march. So you're marching, and then you have to like kick your dress. You have to, and then you're like.
She had a dress that needs to be kicked.
Yeah, because it's like a tray like this.
But she had a dream dress.
Yeah, I got my dream dress.
She got her dream dress, which was work on getting it. It was, but she got it and she loved it until today. So the dress is still there. We are not selling it.
Yeah, I plan to do future photos with it.
She has an issue with giving people it, so she won't give away to people. We are not renting it out.
I can help someone, but please return it. Like, it's not like forever. I have plans with it.
And I'm not talking about that dress. Because that will bring an issue.
But one thing I appreciate is that the people who I worked with, they became my friends. Like the lady who did my gown, Linda, it's her shop is fashionista trends. She really did a good job. She understood my taste and did everything. So during the wedding, she even checked checkups to see, is it done well? Have you worn it? It's fine. That was perfect. I really enjoyed the vows. Finally, it was happening.
We did our own vows.
Yeah.
Which was.
We did the ones, of course, to the church.
And now also we had our own.
Yeah, and then we read our.
The guy that did deco, the company.
Yeah.
What is the name of the company? Mosaic did a very nice job.
Yeah.
But they had a back and forth with the key person that was supposed to do our deco, because there are things that he brought which were not as per we requested, but it was sorted the day before. We had D. D is a very close friend of ours. They really did a lot in terms of our deco. We also had Piranha.
Yeah.
Also did a lot during the wedding. He was the running guy.
And Jude and his wife.
And Jude, there's a guy called Jude and his wife. They also helped us. Jude was our chairman for the wedding. And the wife gave birth that week. So it was crazy even for him coming. And when your wife gives birth and you're not sleeping during those days. So 3 nights apparently he didn't sleep and he still managed to come. We are so happy that he managed to come to see it coming into fruition. And I think the other person that did a nice... Who else was there in the team?
Well, I can't remember everyone, but
guys really stretched. Victoria Victoria was our head usher, and Victoria does a very nice job with ushering. Apparently,
she's in church.
She's the head usher at our church, but she was also the head usher at our wedding. Yeah. So Ali Pool Watu job was done really, really well.
But anyway, other than just the people who helped us, I think it's just good to enjoy the day.
Yeah,
make up your mind. It's a day you've been praying for. Yeah. The weather was
favorable. We did our wedding in Karen. The weather was favorable in Karen. It did not rain, and it rained the previous day.
Yes.
It did not rain that day. That was God.
Yeah.
The other thing is that we had planned for 250 people.
Yes, and invite only.
We invited 250 people. We had planned for 300 people, just in case Kenyans become Kenyans, and we have 50 extra.
Yeah.
But the person that, the chef, the catering team fed 600 people. So Kenyans plus more. Kenyans decided to become crazily Kenyans.
The caterer had come with extra food for 300 people.
No, you see what happens with caterers? they usually start serving, or rather when they're serving, they serve portions based on the number of people they see.
Yeah.
So it means that these people got smaller portions so that all of them were able to at least to take
But
something.
he did a good job.
He did a very nice
I
job.
think he also cooked more because honestly, food for 300 going to 600, and people getting even pieces of chicken. You know, at times chicken is.
We had grilled
counted.
chicken in our wedding.
Yeah, so you really.
So it was wonderful.
Yeah.
Then Karen, having just the wedding in Karen, then having an excess, and it's COVID time. We are happy that
No one even got COVID.
no one got COVID. One, that was a prayer, because weddings have old people, and COVID just
Yeah.
in that season dealt crazily with old people. Then also the aspect that neighbors did not complain, and also police officers did not come to visit us. Those really stood out
And
for
the
us.
security people who are allocated towards that place, we just found favor with them because things just went well.
So those are some of the things that we are grateful
But
for
one
in
thing
our
I
wedding.
think, babe, I remember was our photos. So if there's something I would change back in time, was the timing of our photos. I remember when we were planning the wedding, this was an argument we had. Because I wanted us to do an evening shoot, but not the entire team. It's not the entire bridal team. But now where we wanted to go have the shoot was quite a distance from the church. So we agreed, instead of using a lot of time, let's do everything in the evening. But you know the timing of how after everything is done, that's like 5, there's no sun, there is just no lighting. I would change it. I would change the timing.
I think for me, one thing that if I were to do a wedding, one thing that I would maybe do is have more fun. I think for me it's that, because I was easy before the wedding. I just, anything that would go the way it would go. I didn't think I had much control over it on that specific day. I didn't want to spoil my moods. I didn't want to change even anything on that specific day. So for me it was the wedding I wanted, and it's something that I had prayed for. So I didn't see anything that went the way it was not supposed to go, coming also from an aspect of prayer. I think people fast and pray for weddings. I don't understand why when it gets to that day, people start fumbling about it.
Yeah.
You already left it to God. You already prayed. You already fasted.
Yeah.
Everything will happen within His will. You will not miss anything that you are not supposed to miss, or rather even that you're supposed to meet.
Okay.
So for me, that is how I entered. And we had so much favor before and on that day. So I didn't want to look at any negative aspect of it.
For me, I think it was just the blessings of God and the blessings of my parents. I still cherish the prayers, the journey with family, and just the day. And if I look back, even the sermon that was made, the prayers that were made, just knowing that you've come before God and He has spoken a blessing over it, it's blessed. The assurance that life moves on, knowing that God has blessed this thing. It's just an important thing that no matter any challenge that will come, the foundation is that God was at the center of it. So with God being at the center, He's gonna make things beautiful. Because now once you get married, life doesn't get all rosy. You now begin to see, oh, he was my friend. He this guy who's my friend, he's been my best friend for like 6 years. But now all of a sudden there are things I just don't like about him. Like,
Yeah, that's how we were going. Because my next question will have been, what is that thing, one thing that you're used to, that changed, and it was not a comfortable thing, and also the something about your partner that you didn't know, you discovered during that time.
I think one was when we were doing house hunting. Hey, you know, you have a taste for how you'd want your house. And then I think we got a house that was good. We liked it, but it had a lot to improve on. So we took a project house. And you know, a project house, it's not yet as you'd like it. It has potential, but it's not perfect. So when he left it, because after honeymoon, that's when I moved in. He had stayed for, I think, 2 months, because we postponed our wedding.
Our wedding.
Because now, of course, COVID happened. new regulations came and we could not do a wedding with 50 people. We have
Yeah,
big
50.
families. We wanted our people to have fun with, like, our bridal team was 20.
50 was not even church. 50 was not even family.
Wow.
So 50, we refused 50. Yeah.
Yeah. So with the postponing, so he had to stay in the house for like 2 extra months. Those are things we hadn't really thought about, but anyway. So now after honeymoon, I entered the house. Oh, honeymoon was perfect. You enjoy a wonderful time. Then now you come to the reality of this is the house, and it is not the best of the house that I like.
Yeah.
And then you're like, my parents' house. My things were this way. So all of our things, now my things are all over because I haven't even arranged things. And then I keep on asking him, how do you go around this house? Like, how have you been living in this house for 2 months? Like, I am a guest here, not remembering that this is our house.
Yeah.
So I would ask him, like, me, I'm a guest. You tell me how things go around in this
It was a
house.
struggle. It was a struggle because now it was being addressed as mine.
Yeah.
A house that I was comfortable where I used to live. It was our marriage house.
Yeah.
I would have stayed where I was. So we searched for a house for us. We liked it. Now because the honeymoon was in a hotel, there was this perception that this is what we are going back to. But it was not what we are going back to.
No, I think it's not that it was not that we liked it. I liked it no so. Because it had potential.
Yeah.
You get him, he told me, let's pick this house because it has potential of being what it had big rooms. Of course, in this Nairobi, but a house that has big rooms, a big sitting room, big bedrooms, that is just something. But now interior kwangu haikai modern.
Ilikuwa na kazi.
And then nakuja kwa nyumba, I'm like spendy, and that's like the first day after honeymoon.
Night, rather just when we entered. But the house ticked, out of the ones we saw, it was the best.
Yeah.
Rather, it ticked 80% of what we wanted. It was a walking distance to my workplace. That was a tick.
Yeah.
It was near the road where we would prefer. The rooms were big. So the work was on painting. And
Modernity.
it wasn't modern.
Yeah.
That was where the work was needed. And a bit on the toilets, because it wasn't modern. Now we also need to do a bit of some cleaning on it. And I think that was it. Then when you are coming back, the gifts were brought in the house and they are your gifts. Nobody unwrapped them.
Yeah.
So now we need to unwrap. So ziko tu mahali ziko. So that na tumechoka, and we had this wonderful honeymoon.
Yeah.
The issue now, among the issues that came in, I have stayed in my places for a couple of times. She didn't have her own place.
Yeah, I've lived with my parents.
She's
Other than
lived
being
with
a
her parents.
hostel.
Yeah.
So me explaining to her that hii nyumba tumeingia ndani ni yetu tupake rangi, si ya mwenye nyumba pake rangi. We are the ones that need to paint it.
Yeah.
To her,
Me, I'm like,
the house belongs to that
it
person.
belongs to him. Let him do the work.
But we are the ones in, and I'm telling her, because it was not done the color we wanted before we entered.
He painted.
And it was painted. By the way, he painted it, just the
it
color that
wasn't
you didn't
painted.
like. So that was a challenge on our side. So for the house, that was one of our misunderstandings, or rather one of the places we didn't agree so much, and we didn't agree on it after coming back from the honeymoon. But we settled on it together, searched for the house together, and we did a bit of renovations, and we continue to do some as we think if we will stay or move.
Yeah.
Still move.
Yes, we might.
I think saying nimefika place, yeah, I am done spending money on this house. It's not getting to my taste.
We are there.
So I'm like, okay.
And I'm also at a place whereby I think men settle for way less when it comes to houses, in terms of we don't want a lot of things. But now for the ladies, they have this stick.
Yes.
To the extent that you are able to send them to look for those houses and tell them, if you get that parking and security, hizo zingine wewe angalia kenye unataka.
You know, when we were moving here, by the way, a funny thing, the agent mwenye alikuwa tuonesha hizi nyumba alituambia whenever a guy comes amuulize if they are married na aseme ako married, he doesn't even bother showing them the houses. was at a waste time, wazunguke, but at the end of the day, it's the wife who's going to decide.
Yeah.
So if you're married, you come with your wife,
Yeah.
that's when you tell
Yeah.
me this is the one.
Yeah.
It is the one.
And I think it works. For us guys, we just look at simple things.
Yeah.
Very few and simple things.
Security.
Yes.
But now you see, for me, I was grey into like house hunting. It was my first. I've never
It was
done.
her first.
Yeah, I have never searched for a house.
Yeah, it's a tiring process.
Yeah, looking at houses, it's just tiresome.
It's a whole day affair.
Yeah, but
But
right now I know better.
Right now she knows better.
Next time, because of course it's not a house we've built, I know I will have a broader perspective on what to look at, the ranges in the market. Because of course me, I was just looking at a budget. Atamesema pesa ngapi? Like, why would you do that with all that money? So it's just a good thing. Then the other thing was chores. Now you know me, I've been living with my siblings, and now our parents made it that you do some bit of work, she does some bit of work, then we get home. The first week after our honeymoon, he was helping, then he stopped helping, so he comes and sits, and I'm like, oh, okay, sawa, maybe today he's tired. The next day comes and sits. I was like, hey my friend, Sasa, unajua, I have been really, really tired. I am tired. And I would really appreciate if you did something. Because I don't see why marriage is a teamwork. Because I remember telling him, kwanza, that scripture, our tagline for our wedding, 2 are better than 1. So I don't get why I'm 1 in doing this thing. Yet we are 2 here.
Yeah.
We are 2. We are friends. Let's partner. And him would just be like, I don't know. And then for me, I thought with the notion that this is a man's work, this is a lady's work. Like, that's how I've grown up seeing with people. Like, men do this, ladies do this.
I think it goes back to defining. When you're getting married, define the roles and define them so well. That is 1. 2, there are things that come easily to someone. For me, even until today, I can cook. These days we cook together.
He started helping.
I can cook. I didn't start helping. We started working together. I can cook, but I am comfortable with washing dishes. That's very comfortable.
Yeah.
But now you see the challenge comes in. You cannot wash dishes if food has not been cooked. So hers is, nikiingia, once I get in, because I'm from work, she's been in the house. The only duty that needs to be done when I get from work, which is evening, ni gani? Cooking. So, and it was a communication matter, and this is how I'd look at it. I am from Jobo. I've been working the whole day. I'm tired. I get home. You expect me to cook?
No, we cook together.
Now we cannot cook together if she's the one budgeting for the food and deciding on the menu. So those are just the things that, and we got better with time because now we have a menu and we decide when she's cooking some things, I'm also cooking some things, and the dishes apparently we decide who washes. But for the dishes it's not verbal. I might be the one that washes them at a go, or she might be the one that washes them. So it was not even, the issue was not even chores, and this is one thing I've come to realize with marriage. It is not, the root cause is communication. It is not what you think is the issue. Even when you're moving to a new house, even when you want to do an investment, you need to decide and you need to agree on it. The issue comes in when you do not talk about it before and agree on it and follow what you agree on. Because if you do not look at it from that perspective, then everything else will become an issue until you find the root cause. But once you settle the root cause, then you're good to go.
Also finding what works for us. So at home, my siblings used to help me. So right now, this is a new home. I cannot do it. He used to live alone. I used to live with my parents. So things are no longer the same. So you have to find how we work.
A common ground.
Yes.
What works for us.
Yeah.
And what works for us is not what works for everyone.
Yeah.
It's just things that she's comfortable with doing and things that I'm comfortable with doing. So just defining that and also asking, are you okay with it? I'm also saying, I am not okay with it. Because if you do not say you are okay with it, then you'll get to a point whereby it becomes an outburst. Because you assume that person knows you are not okay with it, yet you didn't say it.
Or doing it out of duty.
And that is one thing we really worked on. That, do not do it out of duty. because then you won't do it from a perspective of having fun and enjoying. Do it because you want to. If it's hard for you and I can do it, why not? Yeah.
That brings me to the next maybe thing I would like us to discuss, which is if does it get to a point where in your marriage you feel like you made the wrong decision, and if it ever gets to that point, what then do you do about that? I don't know if you get even thought of that. Like you ask yourself, was it really the right decision?
Especially, yes, it does get to that. Especially when there's that awkward moment, you guys are not talking to each other. You're like, oh, did I sign up to live in this space? It's like, I think it was better maybe at my parents' life was very easy. I would if you don't talk to me, it's fine. I'll talk to my brother or my sister, it's fine. We'll move
There were
on.
options.
There are options. But now, and then when you're dating, mtakasirikiana, kila mtu
Kila mtu anaenda kwao. Makwake.
Hey.
So you will sort yourself with other people that are there. Right now you can't sort yourself with other people.
Or you text me and I won't reply.
You have to be in the same bed.
You have to be in the same bed, you have to be in the same space. And also now the problem also with that, or rather one of the big thing with that is that, especially now if you serve, and you need to be in church on Sunday.
No,
mmekosana Sunday asubuhi. And you need to serve. And I am not good at hiding. Mimi, we are not good. Don't think that I'll go in front of people and I behave we are good. But I will not throw tantrums, and I will not point fingers, and I will not say you are bad. I will not put mud on you because there is after this. Yes. But don't expect me to behave to kosawa. Si kosawa, let me handle my issues.
Me, I'm like,
to
kosawa.
With every person. We will sort it after. Let's deal with people. Let's put this face. So just having a common ground also on that.
But you see, the beauty is, you'd find us tumekosana. 5 minutes later, we are perfect friends. So you'd go home thinking, watu hawakwangi poa. But that was just a moment of us not being okay.
And it happens, and you need to realize that you are human.
But one thing that keeps us is, it's God who started the marriage.
That's actually my next question. What keeps your marriage going?
And we said there will never be a divorce. Divorce is not a term for us. It's not a resolution for anything. So no matter what, we have to fight for this marriage. And we are not fighting each other. We are fighting the issue. So I am not happy. Not because of you, it's the issue. It's the issue that is bad, and we need to deal with it. And also the fact that, like now for me, I'll be like, Taki, I don't want to talk about it. And him wants to talk about it right now. I'm like, no, me, I want time. Because I might say things that I will regret because I said it out of anger. So you find that the personalities, and I got to understand, his personality is he wants to sort it right now. Me, I'm like, no, let's pause. But the foundation is God started it. He's the one who's going to keep it. It's not out of our own will or strength. It's God. So you rely on him to give you strength to handle everything.